Hey, good morning, all. It is November 6th. New week. Here we go. Let's do this. First and foremost, I just wanted to thank you for Friday. The comments that I got back from the parents that were driving about you and just how amazing you were and how you took the day to give it to someone else. And I've got a short devotion that I'm going to read towards the end. But I've never been more proud. And I've got a neat story that I'll tell you at the end here. Okay, a couple of things. Let's just get on the calendar and then I'll talk about a few things. Um, all right, so calendar, there's some Soaring to High School tours and different things like that. That's run through our admissions department, so those are really, really neat. So those are Soaring to High School tours. Enrollment's going gangbusters right now, so those I'm sure will be packed. Middle school enrollment for next year looks amazing, also, so that's really exciting. Eligibility tomorrow, and then tonight is the band concert. The sixth and seventh grade band concert is 7 tonight, and then 7:45 is the 8th through 12th grade band concert. So I'm looking forward to those. Last week was the choir concert, and what a special night. And so I look forward to a special night tonight as well. Just your talents are amazing, and I just gush with pride with you when I'm standing there watching you at those different concerts. So thank you for sharing your gifts and talents with me and us. Um, all right. Let me just check one thing. We've got chapel this week, so we're looking forward to that. It's just a regular chapel, and then the next week's chapel, just to put that on your radar, is a faith family chapel. Okay, it's a faith family chapel. All right, dining hall cleanup crew is Ava, Piper, Wallace, Josiah, Mora, Grant, and Anna. All right, so there's your cleanup crew. Make sure you sign out each day with the teacher that is up there. All right, a couple of things more here on my list. Let's see. Let's pull it up. There it is. Grandparents' Day is the 17th, so that is a week from this Friday, so a little less than 2 weeks from now. It's a half day. So looking forward to Grandparents' Day on the 17th, always a special day. So that's going to be great. If you saw in the newsletter, there's baked goods that we're asking folks to bring in for Grandparents' Day. If you can do that, that would be super cool. You can look in our newsletter for that. And then the auction survey went out in the newsletter as well, so please take a look at that. And then lastly, on that faith family, we're partnering again with David Clifton Ministries. So David Clifton Ministries is a ministry that I kind of discovered about 10 years ago when we moved into here, trying to partner with a local Lakewood ministry that's really being the hands and feet of Jesus. And they feed about, on Thanksgiving, this is no joke, it's a small ministry. It's like the little engine that could. They're not just this giant ministry. They're a small ministry. And they gather and they food, and they feed about 25,000 people on that day. Rain or shine, snow, doesn't matter. They're out feeding. And one of the things they do is with their community, and they're not partnering with us in this regard, is they get about 600 turkeys baked. 600 turkeys. That's how they can pull off this 25,000 person meal on Thanksgiving Day. So they're just a really special group, and we've donated. Denver Christian has worked with them for many years now, and so it's a real treat to be able to work with them. And then lastly, we've got Checkpoint. Checkpoint, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, starts tomorrow. So it's a club. So you go under club, Checkpoint, and then you can go down here to register for a checkpoint. I'm not sure if there's room or not. Typically it fills up, but nonetheless, it is worth going to. All right. I think that is it for my list. Okay. I didn't go to church. I was at the airport with my daughter. She flew in, so I'm selling my house, bought another one in a smaller house. We're downsizing to a townhouse, but my daughter flew in to say one more last goodbye to our house and her room. And so anyway, we were at the airport yesterday morning with her, getting her back to Chicago for school. So I wanted to share a devotion. This devotion is something that I tie to leaf raking. So let me read this to you. It says, you don't have to be famous to make a difference. So none of us here are famous. We all know Jesus is, but he tried to stay under the radar. So he didn't walk around with a big entourage necessarily. He just had his disciples, and he lived obviously this very humble life. He wasn't trying to be a YouTube star or anything like that. Back in the day, it just didn't even make sense to him. He just was like, I don't have to be famous, but I am the Messiah and I can make a difference. All right, so out of John 14:12, very truly I tell you, whoever believes in me will do the works I have been doing, and they will do even greater things than these, because I am going to the Father. All the great heroes I know have been ordinary people. You and I are ordinary people. You were out raking leaves as ordinary people. They don't run countries. They don't have museums named after them. So I assume none of you run countries or have museums named after you. They're students, moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, aunts, uncles, cousins, teachers, principals, staff members, who saw a need in the people around them. You saw a need in the people around you Wednesday and did what you could to meet those needs. You just worked hard to meet those needs. When I think of heroes, I think of people like Dorothy Day, who lived among the poor so she could better serve them, and my friend John, who started an organization to train governments in other countries on how to end human trafficking. I think of Mother Teresa, who held people as they breathed their last breath in Calcutta, allowing them to die with dignity. And I think of my friend Jeff, who uses his gifts with words to make people feel less alone. Even the famous ones tried to stay under the radar. Heroes come in every age, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. Sometimes they're household names and sometimes they're unknown. But what binds them together is this. This is what binded you all together on Friday. They heard about a need. You heard about a need. You were told about a need. And you figured how to use whatever you could to alleviate the difficulties of someone that couldn't rake their leaves. You decided to take that difficulty, that burden off of them. You did that for them. We don't need more degrees or status to change the world. We only need eyes to see a need. So we saw a real need with real people and a faith that believes in redemption. Jesus wouldn't have said we'd do greater things than him if he didn't think we could do it. So in other words, Jesus says, you know what? I know you can do this and you can do great things, so do it. Stop listening to the voices saying you can't make a difference. Gang, you made a difference on Friday. And start listening to the one telling you he wants you to take your next step. Grab a rake and go. That's your next step. What's your next step now? So, quick story. Year over year, so this is our 35th year of doing this, leaf raking. In fact, 2 generations of Denver Christian students have done this. Year over year, we get, 6 or 8 letters, handwritten letters mailed to us from families, from the elderly, from families that we served on that leaf raking day. But I cannot remember the last time that my phone rang. So it turns out a group of students saw a gentleman near them, near the house that they were assigned to, and they saw a gentleman in need, right? The devotion. Saw a gentleman in need and went over and helped him. They didn't ask for stickers, didn't ask for cookies, didn't ask for a pat on the back, didn't ask for money, didn't ask to be famous. They went over and said, you know what? This is a person that needs us and we can help. And they jumped in and did it. This gentleman, he's not even on our list. This gentleman called me and just was so utterly thankful, just overwhelmingly thankful for this group that saw a real need with a real person and went and stepped up and did it. I was sitting there, I was so proud of you. Just unbelievable. So anyway, what a great day, Friday. Thanks for being of service and thinking about someone other than yourself, those that participated. Thank you. All right. Be good, y'all. And we'll see you in the halls. Take care. Bye.